Hi there, this is Ranjit from tech2bars.com, and in this video we're going to do the in-depth review of this Micromax Superfone known as Superfone Canvas. Also it is known as the Micromax A100, and the main thing about this phone is this large screen. It sports a fine screen, and to give you an idea, this is my Galaxy Nexus, and if I place it near that, you can see it's bigger than the Galaxy Nexus, and Galaxy Nexus is not a small phone. It sports a 4.65 inch screen. So let's have a closer look at this phone, and I'll start with the physical layout. As you can see on the front, we do not have any physical buttons. The touch buttons, that's the home, back, and the multitasking tray button, are part of the screen. And the good thing again about this phone is, out of the box, this phone runs on the Android version 4, that is Ice Cream Sandwich. And let me start with the ports. And on the top we have a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is conveniently placed in the middle. And moving here, we have the on-off switch, which is pretty tactile, and nothing over here. And if we go towards the bottom, we have the micro USB slot that will be used for charging, and the microphone pinhole over here. And on this side again we have the volume rocker, and again it's pretty tactile. And moving towards the back, it sports a 5 megapixel autofocus camera, and it also has a LED flash, and this Micromax logo, and the speaker grill over here. And the speaker grill is pretty decent, I would say. And the back is made up of kind of rubberish plastic material, and it feels very good to hold, and this will also resist the fingerprints. So that's pretty nice. And overall I feel the build quality is pretty good. I did not find any creaking noise or something like that. And I've opened up the back cover, and as you can see, we can put two SIM cards. One is for the 3GB base SIM card, and the other one is the normal. And we do also have a micro SD card slot over here. So let me put in the battery for now. And the battery capacity is 2000 milliamperes. So let's put in the battery, and let us put back the back cover. And on the front again we see a slab of glass, but again do note that this is not Gorilla Glass. So I would suggest that if you're going to buy this phone, put a screen protector. And again on the front we have array of sensors. We have a front facing camera, but that again is just a VGA camera. We have a nice phone grill, and I have to say the voice quality is pretty good. I would rate it about 9 out of 10. And we also get ambient light sensor and a proximity sensor, and the auto brightness also works pretty nice. And one more thing I wanted to show you here is there's one more hole over here, that's for the microphone, and I believe this is for the noise cancellation, so that's a nice thing. And again let me unlock this phone now, and as you can see we can unlock it, and it runs the Android version 4 as I mentioned. Let me zoom in a little bit, and let me show you the Android version. We'll go to about the phone, and as it says here, Android version 4.0.4, and the model name is A100. Again, one more good thing about this phone is it comes by default with internal storage of 4GB, but we can add a micro SD card, and I like the way that the storage has been divided. For apps, Micromax has allotted 1.4 GB of space, and I feel that's a very good thing. That's ample space for your apps. And we also get again 1.4 GB of extra storage, and we can also add a SD card. I added a 2 GB SD card to the same. So in terms of storage, I do not have any issues with the phone. One little con that I have is the RAM. I feel that RAM provided is just 512 MB. But let me show you the same. Let me open the task manager. I downloaded this advanced task manager, and let me kill all the tasks now. And let us also make sure nothing is running. We'll swipe all these apps, and as you can see we get this ICS style tray. And now I'm going to launch this application called Android System, which will show us the amount of free RAM that is available. And if I go to memory, and as you can see here, it says that the free RAM is just 164 MB that is available. So I would say just about 170 MB of RAM, free RAM is available to the phone. Also, the CPU on this phone is a 1 gigahertz processor. It's not a dual core. Some people are mistaking it. It's a single core 1 gigahertz processor. And the very good thing I like about the phone is the actual screen quality. I like the screen quality of the phone very much. It sports a resolution of 480 by 854 pixels, and if you see, if I even tilt the phone to some extreme angles, the image is very vibrant. I don't know how well it looks in the video, but the images that this phone can produce is really good. I was impressed by the quality of screen that Micromax used on this phone. In terms of user interface, Micromax did not modify the stock ICS layout very much. It functions like the stock Android version that we have seen in the Galaxy Nexus phone, but minor modifications have been done. For example, we have these quick toggles here, which I appreciate because this is very easy to toggle between GPS, rotate, or set Wi-Fi to on or set the brightness. So this is a very good thing that Micromax did. But overall, the phone will feel like a stock Android experience. Again, as you can see, if we scroll all the way, we get to the widgets like we do in the stock Android ICS interface. Again, I feel that there is a slight lag with the phone, but considering the price point at which this phone sells, I think so that's okay. I've seen this phone to go in the market for about 9,500 rupees or so. There is a slight lag, I would say, yeah, and it sometimes takes half a second or something for the display to respond to the buttons what you press. For example, see, you can see that lag. And I have now connected to my Wi-Fi. Let's open the web browser and let's go to some sites. I also tried installing the Chrome web browser and I was able to do the same, but my experience on the Chrome web browser was not that great. It was a little bit laggy. So I would say that stick to the stock default web browser that we get. Also, the voice recognition Aisha software is not preloaded on the phone. I was a little bit surprised to see that. Now let me go to tech2buzz.com site. Also, while in the browser, while you're typing, it tries to autocomplete, and sometimes that causes a little bit of lag. And now we are going to tech2buzz.com website. And as you can see, it loaded the page. Again, in terms of web browsing with the stock browser, I found the browsing to be pretty good actually. As you can see, the scrolling is pretty nice. And also the pinch gesture is very smooth. As you can see, it's pretty okay. And now let me just open up one of the stories to see how it handles if the videos are built into the web pages. And let me tilt this phone. One little con I have is that the orientation time from landscape to portrait and back takes a little bit of time. It sometimes takes approximately 2 seconds, not very fast. And this is the video. Let me just zoom out a little bit and let's try to play this video.
Hi there, this is Ranjit from tech2buzz.com, and in this video
I'm going to lower the volume, and as you can see, it has no problems playing videos that are embedded on the web page, so that's a plus point. That's pretty nice. Let me get out of this. Again, as you can see, changing from the landscape to the portrait mode, it's taking some time. I found that a little bit annoying with this phone. It does take time to switch the orientation at times. For example, now it's not doing it. Let us try again. Yeah, it did. So that's one con. Let's go to Engadget website now. And I'm going to load the desktop version, not the mobile version. And again, as you have seen, it loads it pretty quickly. Again, there is a slight tinge of lag, but I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker. It's pretty decent considering the budget price of this phone. And as you can see, let me just stop loading this page for now. And now let's try the pinch gesture. It is okay, but it is not very silky smooth with very long pages like this Engadget. As you can see, there is a slight delay, but again, I would say it's pretty okay. Let me see how the kinetic scrolling works. It does work. I think so the cause of a little bit lag is due to the RAM. As I've said, it has just 512 MB of RAM, and out of that, after the OS and other things load, we just have about 170 MB. So I think so the slight delay that we see is due to that. So, but overall in terms of web browsing, I would say you shouldn't have a problem. It can load all the pages without any issues. Now moving to the media playback, the results are mixed. I would say that I tried to play a couple of 720p videos with this phone. For example, let me try this. This is a 720p video, but I had a problem with the same. And I tried using different players. Then also I had a problem. I'll say start over. And as you can see, it's not very smooth. The motion is very choppy, and this was my experience with 720p videos. It was not very good. But if moving to 480p videos, I did not have any problems, and it was able to play 480p videos without any issues. It's a bummer that this phone could not play 720p videos because it has such a good, nice 5-inch screen. And the rear facing camera is a 5 megapixel shooter, and it also has a LED flash. I did take some photographs with the same. Let me show you the same. Let me go again to the gallery app. I would say outdoor the pictures are pretty good. Again, you see the orientation changing takes some time on this phone. And this is the picture that I've taken with this camera. In bright sunlight, the pictures are pretty good, I would say. But if you zoom in a lot, there is a loss of detail. It is good for casual photography, I would say. Decent enough. For example, here I would say that color reproduction was not very accurate. Again, it does a decent job, I would say. And it cannot shoot video in 720p, but just with 480p. So that's for the media playback and the camera performance. I would say the camera is decent enough for a 5 megapixel shooter, but nothing extraordinary. And let me also show you the camera interface actually. The camera interface is very stock, what you see in ICS. And the good thing is that we get this touch to focus. Let me put a small object, not this big. For example, this one. And if I touch on that object, it quickly focuses, and you can take the snap. Actually, I like the fact that you can take the snaps pretty quickly. It's not instant, but pretty quick, I would say. Again, let me show you the same. And directly from this interface, you can switch to the video mode. But again, the video mode is just 480p. It's not HD. And also the settings that we get are pretty basic. We can toggle the flash to on, off. We can control the white balance. We can also control the exposure, and scenes are there. And what is this? We can set the picture size. The max is 5 megapixel, and we can also change the focus mode if you would like. So again, the camera interface is pretty basic, I would say, but again, it's pretty nice. Touch to focus is there, and also we do get this digital zoom. So that's the camera interface. This phone also sports the front facing camera. That's a 0.3 megapixel camera. That's a VGA camera, and I tested it with Skype, and I was able to make video calls with the same. So Skype works perfectly with this phone. But as this is just a VGA camera, the other party said that the picture was just average and a little bit fuzzy. It's not very sharp. So for video calling also and using Skype, this phone works. I also tried playing a couple of casual games on this. I played Amazing Alex, Temple Run, and they ran fine. And to show you the GPU performance, let me run this Nina Mark II GPU test. And I ran it earlier and got a score of 16.2. Let's run it again. And this tests the GPU performance of the phone, which is important for tasks like gaming, etc. And I would say with a score of about 16 or so that I got, let's see, and we got a score of 15.1. I was getting earlier around about 16, so we can say that the Nina Mark II score that we will get with this phone is about 16. I would say it's not a very good score, but it's not bad. It's mediocre score. So with this score, I would say that you can do casual gaming with this phone, and the phone sports a Adreno 200 GPU. But you cannot play heavy 3D games because the phone has just 512 MB of RAM and it's just a single core phone. Let me run one more benchmark, and first let me kill all these apps. I like that Micromax kept this multitasking tray icon. And let me run this quadrant standard benchmark to give you an idea about the quadrant scores. And this is the first time I'm running. I'm going to run the full benchmark. I'll just skip to the scores because this test does take some time. And it has completed, so let's see the results. And it says our device got a score of 2313, and I have to say it's pretty good because it supports just a single core 1 GHz processor. Let me mention the breakout, and the breakout of the score is total is 2313. Out of that, the CPU got a score of 2629, memory is 1582, IO is 5538, 2D is 321, and 3D is 1496. So this is the quadrant benchmark, and let me kill all these apps, and let me run this Temple Run game. And I have to say the touch sensitivity of this phone is pretty good. I did not have any issues with the touch sensitivity, and to demonstrate that, let's run this game. Let's play this. And as you can see, we have no problems running this game. So that's Temple Run. Again, as the screen size is about 5 inches, it will take you some time to get used to the same. And if you have small hands, then you might have problem handling this phone, because as you can see, to go to the edges you have to really stretch. And moving towards the battery life, the phone sports a 2000 milliampere battery, and this phone is a dual SIM phone, but I did all my testing with just a single SIM, and I would say the battery life is pretty good, and you can easily get over 1 day of usage with this phone. So in terms of battery life, I do not have any issues with this phone. Let me show you the keyboard. We get the stock Android keyboard, and let me type in, this is a test. And because the screen is pretty wide, it is pretty easy to type, and also we get this voice dictation feature. This is a test of the keyboard of the Android, and as you can see, it does work, but it does tend to make a few mistakes, so that's pretty nice. The voice dictation feature also works. So how do I overall rate this phone? This Micromax Superfone Canvas, also known as the A100, sells for about slightly under 10,000. You can get it for 9,500 or so in the market. And this phone will be ideal for people who like to have a large screen phone. It has a 5-inch screen, and the screen quality is also very good, I have to say. The only little con that I feel is that there is no corning glass or something like that. So you need to apply a screen protector, otherwise the screen can get damaged due to scratches. Overall, I like the phone, but again, it's not the smoothest of the phone because there is a slight of tinge of lag at times with the phone. If you're just working with one application at a time, you will not have a problem. But if you try to quickly multitask with multiple applications, you will see a lag of for a second or so. Also, one more thing that I do not like about this phone is it takes a lot of time to switch between from this portrait mode to the landscape mode that I have demonstrated earlier. So I feel that's a little bit buggy. I hope Micromax can fix that with the software update. And as you can see, it has a problem shifting to this landscape mode. Overall, for the price for what it sells, I can highly recommend this phone. But again, if you are a heavy gamer, then this mobile is not for you because it just has a single core 1 GHz processor, and I feel that 512 MB of RAM can be a limited factor. I hope you found this video review helpful. That's it for now. This is Ranjit from tech2buzz.com, and I hope to see you in my next video.